The best, worst podcast you've ever heard. And now, The Ronnie and Bo Show, brought to you by Prescott Realty.
Ronnie and Bo Show. Hey, man, I can't believe we're still doing this. This is fantastic, Ronnie.
I know. This is a good day, and
We haven't upset anybody.
no.
We haven't gained a lot of followers or subscribers, but I don't think we've lost any. So hey,
No, that's
pat
worth
yourself on the back for that.
that's worth something right there. We got to take what we can
Yes.
and just enjoy the little things. Like having a sponsor. That's no little thing, though. That's a big thing. And
That's
Prescott
great.
Realty, we're so thankful for Prescott Realty. They are such an amazing group of real estate specialists. They're not generalists, they are specialists. And so if you're looking for a custom lot, or maybe you're a first-time home buyer, or looking for an existing home or maybe a new home, those are all different aspects of the same industry. And so you want the right person depending on what your actual need is. And so if you want to give them a call today for a no-commitment free consultation, you can. 928-499-8700. Give them a call at Prescott Realty and they'll help you out.
It's the Ronnie and Bo Show, and we're talking with comedian Andrew Sleighter. Good morning, Andrew.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for taking the time and being with us.
Yeah, this means an awful lot just to get the time with you. We're excited because you're heading to the Phoenix area and going to be at Stir Crazy Comedy Club coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm going to be at Stir Crazy Comedy Club in Glendale,
Nice.
which is a pretty new club if anybody has gone there. I've been to Phoenix a bunch of times, never done it, so I'm excited too.
Yeah.
And thank you. I am thankful for you guys being with me. We're not really together, this is on
Right.
the phone.
Over
but
the phone.
Right. Yeah.
I'm thankful for you talking to me. So
Well,
Vice versa.
yeah, it's mutual.
yeah.
So where are you from, Andrew?
I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. You guys know about that.
Yeah.
Seattle and
Yeah.
Phoenix, right?
Yep.
Oh,
We're aware.
there you go.
Yeah.
There's already a Seahawks jab there.
Yeah.
No,
seriously.
I know. Well, that's the thing. I am a big Seahawks fan, and I'm like kind of crazy in that I've been able to work my whole plan as a comedian was just to get big enough to where I can make my schedule match up with the Seahawks road schedule. So I don't really care about the art of it or comedy, any of that stuff. It was just all a long con to be able to go to road games, which it's hard. You lose a lot of road games. It's kind of but I've been to Lambeau now. I've been to a lot of places and New Orleans, and I've been to Phoenix actually a few times. So I'll be going to the game on Sunday, and
Wow.
Oh, that's
see.
awesome.
I know I think both teams though this year probably not the best.
They're
teams,
not
right?
looking very good this year.
Right,
I know the
yeah.
Cardinals aren't. I don't know about the Seahawks yet. But didn't you
Yeah.
give up an extra gig because there was a Seahawks game?
Yeah, well, I was trying to. So it's a crazy story, but when you're to be an extra in Los Angeles, it's just those people in the background of movies
Right,
and TV
right.
shows. So
Yeah.
I thought that'd be a good gig,
Right.
I can do that. I can stand around and eat a sandwich or whatever. You know what I mean? That's my talent level right there.
Awesome.
Just be around, just be a guy. That's kind of what I'm good at. So I thought I'd do that. So you sign up for this thing called Central Casting. It's
Right.
a service in Los Angeles that, and they put your picture in this database and your height and your weight and whether you have a car.
Are you
literally,
sure
they'll go.
Are you sure
go
that's
ahead.
central? Are you sure that's central casting?
No, yeah. Now I know it was like an old-fashioned way to steal your data, but now
Okay,
it's so
go
much
ahead.
easier.
Go ahead.
Right.
If you Google something, they have more information than Central Casting. But back then, this was 10 years ago.
Nice.
And they had to literally steal your data. So
Right.
no, but then they would ask you other weird questions, like if you have a car, people sometimes. They don't want you; they'll want your car.
Oh, wow.
It's cheaper for them to pay you and your car to come than to have a prop of a car. And it's a lot of things you never think about. in
Right,
this movie
right.
business. So I did it, and they never called me. They never. I was signed up, waiting by the phone. I kind of forgot I even signed up for it. To be honest with you, what I didn't realize was you're supposed to call in every day, like you're trying to win tickets to an AC/DC concert or something.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to call in, and I didn't know that, so I didn't care enough, But one time they called me and they're like, "Hey, are you available?" And I said yes, and then I remembered it was the Seahawks 49ers Thursday night football, and that was like in the heat of the rivalry.
Right.
Both teams were really good, and I was like, I'm not missing that. So I had to call him back and told him my grandma died. But I know you guys say, I'm feeling judgment, but that is a legitimate, because my grandma's still alive, and every time I do it, she like gets stronger. Like she feeds off that. It's like spite energy for her. So.
That's a good.
Anyway,
excuse.
it's a long story, but yeah. Anyway, I actually ended up they offered more money, and I did it. So it was a good negotiating tactic.
Man,
yeah.
Go grandma! That's
go grandma. Exactly.
You got to put that one in your
the
pocket.
Ultimate leverage.
Yeah.
Exactly,
I like that. I'm taking notes right now, Andrew. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I've got a lot of good notes for you guys on how to be a dirtbag and get out of stuff, kind of, and then still do it for the money.
By the way, I think I'm going to steal your idea about getting a free breakfast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
This is all, I think like the technology term now is open sourcing. I open source all of these. So good. If you want free continental breakfast, it's not even that complicated of a scam. You just go to a hotel and you get continental breakfast. You just don't have to be staying there. It's just nobody ever talks about it. Or my other like, I think my crown jewel of my scams would be blueberries. Blueberries are very expensive. You guys ever try to buy organic blueberries?
Yeah, it's brutal.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
However, I'm sure they have this in Phoenix, is self-serve frozen yogurt, right? You have like a Yogurtland type situation or something. So at this place, by my house anyway, it's Yogurtland. You get your cup, right? You fill out your favorite flavor ice cream. You pick out,
all the toppings.
Then you pick out your toppings. You pile in your toppings. They pay for about £1, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So at Yogurtland, blueberries is one of the toppings, and they forgot to make a rule that you have to put frozen yogurt in your cup. Nobody ever said that. So I go 100% blueberries. Way that is very light and very cheap way to buy blueberries.
Man, it's
beautiful.
So this is
I'm telling you, this is all for anybody. If
this
anybody
is
else
such good consumer advice.
I'm not proprietary about any of this.
Awesome.
No lawyers. People can have this. This is for you guys.
That's too good.
Because I like Arizona. I like Phoenix.
Yeah. So how long have you been working as a comic or working on being a comic, Andrew?
I mean, okay, well, working on being a comic like 12 years now, and then actually working to where I didn't have some crummy day job for about 6 years.
Nice,
nice.
That's
fantastic.
I've had a million day jobs, so it is nice now to where like I can just watch TV all day.
Yeah,
watch TV all day and go to Seahawks games. It's a good life. I recommend it.
That's a great life.
Unless you want to be like a really successful comedian, then you got to work on other stuff during the day. But if you just want to be where I'm at, you can,
during the game.
You can just kind of coast.
Right. Well, now I understand the Hampton Inn and the blueberry. scheming
That all
here.
goes hand in hand.
It does make sense.
If you can figure out a way to open source Seahawks tickets,
Yeah, I know. That is what I need to work on. Although I have a buddy who maybe people in Phoenix know because he's got family in Phoenix and he's from Wyoming and lived in Vegas and he's in Denver now. But it's a really funny comic named Brandt Tobler.
Oh, he's the one that does the podcast. You're trying to get him married, huh?
We had a podcast together, and he has one now, the 31. That's great, and people love. But his whole thing is he can sneak into any sporting event.
Nice.
So see, I need to get that skill. And in fact, we went to Glendale. We went to the what is it? The University of Phoenix Stadium.
Yeah, it used to be. They just switched to State Farm.
State Farm.
Stadium,
what's funny? So. That's actually less embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I like State Farm better, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we went. I was going to the game with my brother. Seahawks were playing the Cardinals,
Yeah.
And Brandt wanted to go, didn't have tickets, and he just walked in the stadium. He just did it, and I was like, "How do you do?" And he does it everywhere. He's done it to big games, like the Stanley Cup Finals in Vegas. He got in. He did it at Rose Bowl one year, and then just baseball games and stuff too, like regular season games. But it's pretty incredible. The guy is like some sort of savant. So that's a skill I don't have because I'm so afraid of being found out.
I don't know if either of you remember this, but I think there was a guy in the '80s who actually dressed up in referee uniforms and not only
really
and he did it for life. I mean, he did it as to be serious about it, and he dressed up in these kind of roles, and he would get into the event that way. And and not only did he do that, but he would end up like at a basketball championship. He would end up on the end court, on the end line with the other referees.
Oh man!
In his uniform, so he would take it a step further. He would sneak in. I can't remember who that is, but
fantastic.
We can Google that. Guy.
Watch this, Bo and Andrew. Watch this transition right here. That's like Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can, who paraded around and faking to be a pilot and whatnot, and Tom Hanks is chasing him down, and our very special guest Andrew Sleighter released his album, The Great Backsby. That has some connection to Leonardo DiCaprio. See, this is a Kevin Bacon sort of 6 Degrees sort of conversation.
Yeah.
So you gotta fill us in. Oh, you got go.
I'll tell you guys a little bit. But before I get to that, I just want to ask about the referee thing. Do people think referees go to the game in their uniform?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like they're just walking around in life like a Foot Locker.
That's a great point. The other 4 referees walk in on their street clothes with their duffel bag and go to the locker room. This guy just walks through the gate and the parking lot in his stripes.
He just blows his whistle at people if they accuse him of anything.
That's a great observation.
Yeah.
I love that.
Or like David Johnson, he comes to the stadium in his cleats and his pads and his helmet on.
Got his game face on hours before the game.
Oh, man.
No, so yes, you're right. I had an album just come out. It's called The Great Backsby. People can find it anywhere you get music. iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's the story you're alluding to is connected to that central casting story. So like I said, I did go, and I talk about this in my act just as a warning. I don't want people to think like, oh, he's doing bits for the radio.
Right.
But I'll try to tell it in a cool way that's conversational. People know, hey, this guy, he's just shooting from the hip,
That's awesome.
So I get there. I don't know what it is, they don't tell you ahead of time what the extra project is. You're not notified. You're not given the scripts,
Right.
And so I can't approve it but I get there and it's reshoots for The Great Gatsby, the movie version with Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wow.
And I'm supposed to be the stand-in for Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So when they reshoot the scenes for Tobey Maguire, they have to use me as the back of my head, essentially.
Someone he's talking to or whatever.
Because DiCaprio just can't be bothered.
Chin. When you watch it, you can even, the part that I'm in, you can tell his chin just gets a little fatter for a second.
Be honest, do you sit there and watch the movie and go, watch this, Mom, watch this,
Mom.
Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, can you hear us? We're here. Oh, hold on. Sorry, man. Sorry, I accidentally hit the mute button. I'm sorry. I accidentally hit the mute. We'll get this patched up in post production.
Oh yeah. So we'll fix it in post. No, leave it in. I just sound so nervous because they were laughing, and kind of interjecting. They're so interested, and then they're immediately bored. They're this is a real snoozer.
I accidentally hit the mute button, man.
That's hilarious.
So I was asking Andrew, do you ask your mom or your friends? Look, that's my head. There's my ear right there. See that? That's my hair.
That's awesome.
And I try to always when I take pictures, I try to really get the back of my head in there.
Put it on Instagram.
It's my best side. Yeah. No, I've done that joke on stage, and then kids sometimes they'll do colleges. At colleges they love that. I think they watch that movie. That's a good movie for that age group.
Yeah.
So then they'll want to take a picture, but then they'll be like, turn around. And then the crazy thing about that is I've done it a bunch of times, but then when they take the picture, I still smile. Like it's just such an instinct. You're like smiling like an idiot, looking in the wrong way.
To somebody
So
behind you.
so basically that's what it was. Like they needed the back of my head, and I
The Great Backsby.
the Great Backsby. That's what it was. And so I never met Leo. He wasn't there, like obviously, because I was.
Because you were there, yeah. You were.
But
a good
Tobey
substitute.
Maguire was like the only real celeb.
Oh, that's fun.
And so that was pretty cool. Got to meet him, and
that's fantastic.
and and the best part of the story, my future wife. I met my future wife doing that. She
that's
on that
great.
shoot? Wow.
The extras and the other stand-ins.
That's fantastic.
And the way we met, it's so funny because people are like, how did you? That's so crazy. You guys met that way, and it's really like. We were drawn to each other because, not to slight anybody, but there's some career extras out there. Some people who are just like,
right,
this is all they do, right?
Yeah.
And there's this real dead behind the eyes sort of desperation in the face, and you're like, you're not a real person. Are you a real person? I can't relate. And then like once I saw Heidi, who was also like me, just doing it for like the first time or whatever,
right.
We immediately were like, oh hey, okay, this is a person I can talk to.
Yeah, that's
so. Not only was it a unique situation, but both of you had a lot of passion at the moment you met, or the day you met.
Yeah, and imagine the advantage I had too. Like I'm dressed up. Like in the dope suit, and I got all this expensive jewelry on, and I'm like just the cachet, like, oh, I'm Leo,
yeah.
I'm the of the extras. I'm like the king of the extras.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, to the top. It was a home court advantage for sure. Like I definitely, she probably didn't know what she was getting into.
You weren't just
this guy steals breakfast.
You weren't a standard flapper. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, yeah. But so that was and that was the only time I ever did anything like that. Since then, I never like unsigned up for Central Casting, but then I just continued not to call in.
Okay.
And they've never called me back. They've never had me again. So it's I think that my career's over as far as
just beginning.
Well, no, not
as far as that.
Just your extra career.
Yeah, my stand-in career. My comedy career is on fire.
Booming.
As you guys can attest to.
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. So you started, I mean, years ago, but how did you get your start in comedy?
Well, like,
what was your approach?
My approach?
Or your goals or whatever, just to get into it?
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to do it. I never thought, this is kind of, it was an interesting time to start because, like, you think 12 years ago, it was definitely before podcasts, right?
Right.
Comedy didn't seem as accessible as it does today. I think now anyone can listen to a few podcasts and find out, like, oh, comedians, you just start. You just go, and then after a few years, you get some work, and it's really laid out for you. People really talk about how you go from host to a feature to work in the road and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But when I started, it was kind of like there was the really famous guys, and then there was nobody. Like I didn't know of any comedians who weren't like on TV.
Right.
And so I thought, like, oh, I'll just do it. It was just something to do. Like I was like, I think I'm funny, and it could be fun, and I just want to see if I could do it. And it was never a career. I didn't really get career minded until like 3 years in, probably.
Right. That's amazing.
And then you saw, like, oh, there's just working comics. There's just guys and ladies who do this for a living, who you haven't heard of, but are pretty good, and having a good life. So that's when I was decided, like, oh, I could do that. Even if I don't get super famous, like, I could do this.
That's really cool.
That probably took me about 3 years to get to that mindset. But,
that's really neat.
But I started young. I started in college. I was going to. I did the first open mic I ever did was a college coffee shop in Bellingham, Washington.
Wow.
Open mic, but it wasn't an open mic for comedy. Which is always, if anyone's listening to this and thinking of being a comedian, go to comedy open mics, especially at the beginning, to just thank me later. The other ones are disasters. Like everyone was doing John Mayer covers, it was a big John Mayer period.
Yeah.
And then poetry, that kind of stuff. And then I get up there, I tell some story about, like, breaking my nose or something, and everyone is like trying to study or like mad at me. I didn't get one laugh.
Wanting to know where your acoustical guitar is.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wish I had one. I totally would have bailed and started playing John Mayer if I had the chance. But then afterward, the host though, and I mean, I'm telling you, this is like Bellingham, Washington, out of college, like very hippie,
right,
sort of all inclusive, all that stuff. And he goes, yeah, that reminds me, we should bring the gong. They used to have a gong show. He's like, we should bring the gong back. I was like, oh my God, this guy's roasting me. On this friendly little open mic. So it took me a while to recover. The only thing that made me do it again was the fact that I hadn't done it at a comedy club. I kind of rationalized it. I was like, okay, I have to at least try it at a comedy club. And then I went down to Seattle to this place called Giggles, and and did it there, and then it went a little better. So
that's awesome. That's so great. Yeah. And then you went on to do writing for the sports show with Norm MacDonald, and then had a couple things that was on Comedy Central, right?
That was on Comedy Central. Yeah, it was short lived. It was just the one season, but it was an awesome for me because he's like an idol. Like I love Norm MacDonald.
Fantastic. He's
got this new show on Netflix. I just watched like 5 of them last night.
Yeah.
It's like the best thing, I think. It's like the way me and my wife were talking about it. It's the way talk shows should be now because it's just so relaxed and like not forcing stuff, and I don't know, it's just really really
refreshing.
Good, so.
That's super cool.
Absolutely.
So you've had some highs in your career, and you'll get many more. Tell us about, just give us a story about leading into your late night stand-up debut on Conan. I mean, you're going from a coffee house to now you're going to be on national TV. Give us some of the feelings too in that story.
Nervousness was the number one feeling that I remember. I mean, I was like, first of all, it was like it's a big deal to get on there. For a few years I was submitting tapes, never hearing back, and finally I submitted one with the help of my manager, and then they got back right away all of a sudden. And then they approved all the jokes. Like I've heard of processes where they go back and forth and they really like this joke, but not this joke. But like what he wrote back in the email, it was like this joke, this joke, this joke, and this joke. And then in my head, I'm like, oh, well, that's 5 minutes. Right there. Am I on the show? Am I on the show then? And I kind of was. So
that's amazing.
That was great. And then the day of, I brought everybody. I was like, anybody wants to go? I was like a rapper, I had like 15 people in this little dressing room. Yeah, totally. And like, so that was kind of helpful to have all those people around. It keeps you from thinking about it, keeps you from being nervous. But then right before you go, when the show starts, most of those people have to go take a seat in the audience,
Right.
And then my wife and my manager was back there, but then when you go out, they go out. They want to go see you from the stage, so they leave, and then you're by yourself, and then you really can think about it,
Your heart
and
just
then I go
beats through your chest at that point.
Yeah, no, and it's just the stomach and the whole thing. You're trying to like intellectually control it. You're like trying to just tell yourself like, hey, it's just this. It's just that you've done it a million times, but you thought, no, that works. So then you go, and you don't see, at least I didn't really see Conan or Andy or anybody before the show. Like they just kind of go out and do the show as, when you watch it on TV, that's how they tape it. It's just kind of like the show is when you watch it. So I'm last, I'm just kind of in the back, and then you're by yourself in the back, and then you're behind the stage, behind a curtain in the back, and you're just standing there. There's like these 2 union guys who are standing there holding ropes to pull open the curtain. It's like their whole job in life or something. And they're talking about lawn maintenance, and they just don't give a care at all about your life dream or whatever. And you're just kind of, okay. And they're like, all right, you're on. And then they just pull it open and you walk out and you're like on TV, and you look over and it's Conan and it's Andy Richter in the crowd, and you're like, it's pretty surreal.
That would be.
I had a moment. I did my first joke, no problem. Like I got it out. And it did well too, and it was so relaxing, like to get the first laugh. That I almost forgot my second joke. Like I finished, And if you're really watching it, like super frame by frame, you can see my life end.
A millisecond of
after
panic.
the first joke, before the second joke. And I almost want to turn to like Conan and go, well, what do you guys want to talk about?
You're having this inner dialogue, right? A battle with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Keep going,
God,
get done, and let's just get out of here. Escape. You know.
Yes, and you're just like,
Deflect.
man, I'm gonna. You play the whole thing. It's like less than a second, less than like a millisecond.
Wow.
But it plays out in your head the whole thing. Like you've disappointed your family, you've disappointed everybody. You've got to quit comedy. But it all. I mean, I was able to recover, and it went good, and it was like a really fun day overall. After that, afterward, it was really fun. So.
That's the coolest. I love hearing that. I can't imagine the stuff that goes through.
Oh yeah, the nerves though. I like to think I'd be less nervous, and I have been on subsequent things like that. But that one was pretty big.
We're big fans, Andrew, and just rooting for you all the way. And if you're in the Phoenix area, then step out to Stir Crazy in Glendale, September 27th through the 29th, and catch Andrew Sleighter.
Andrew, we're just
awesome.
so thrilled for you and your successes, and we're looking forward to higher plateaus, and congratulations on all the success you've had so far in your career. Thanks for spending the day with us talking to us. You're welcome, Andrew. Oh, boy, wasn't that a fun interview?
Oh, man, he's fantastic.
Well, thanks for listening to another episode of the Ronnie and Bo Show, brought to you by Prescott Realty. You can get in touch with them or get more information by going to their website, PrescottRealty.com, or calling them at 928-499-8700.
Yep, and they work as specialists, and so, like we've been saying, you don't go to a roofer or a baker if you've got a heart issue.
That's right.
You don't even go to a foot doctor if you got a heart issue. You want a specialist working on you in that case, and it's the same in realty. So give them a call, and they'll help you out with finding the right specialist for your buying or selling needs.
928-499-8700.
Thanks for listening to the Ronnie and Bo Show, available on your favorite podcast provider. Please connect with the Ronnie and Bo Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and RonnieandBoShow.com. Send comments to RonnieandBoShow@gmail.com. This is your announcer speaking. I'm Shotgun Tom Kelly.